What would you say is the difference between an English audience and an Australian audience?
I like to think with my stuff, I don't notice the differences really, because my material's not very parochial, you know. I didn't have, when I came to England, I didn't have to go, oh, what am I going to do with that kangaroo gag? I'm going to have to change it to possum. No, you don't have possums either. What do you have?
Squirrels.
Squirrels, yeah. I'm going to have to change my kangaroo gag to a squirrel. It just wasn't like that, because it's all sex and God and death and stuff that we all do. And however, I have noticed little things. I've got a poem that's on the DVD called The Angry Poem, where the guy's, you know, it's kind of, my mother was a bitch, like that, and it's quite angry and quite in your face, and Australians just lose it. If I do that bit, it's always the high point of the show, whereas over here it's a bit like, oh, it's a little bit, whereas they laugh more at the sexual perversions. The English are more into let me video you while you wee and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
Classic.
Which is another memorable line from my swing song. If you really love me. Yeah. So there's that, I think, but mostly it's really similar. I think our sense of humour, our being Australians, is very influenced by yours. You know, before I came over, before I went, got to come and meet all these dudes, I was a huge fan of the Bush and Little Britain and all that, and the Royston Vasey mob.
Yeah, League of Gentlemen.
League of Gentlemen.
But yeah, no, so there's enough in common. Everything feeds into
yeah,
one
that's
another.
right. I think we're very similar and very dry. Australians probably do the sweary stuff a bit more. You guys have got that residual, like, oh, easy up on the language, old son. I'd rather hear about, you know, bums. You know, it's sort of that. It
completely true. Yeah, completely accurate. I'm so glad you know your way around.
Yeah, that's right.
So you describe yourself as an actor, a musician, a comedian, a chef, a writer. Out of all these things, which would you say you are the most?
I only describe... I describe myself as all those things slightly tongue-in-cheekedly on my website.
But, for the ladies. But
I mean, comedy's very recent for me. I called myself a muso-actor for years, and to be honest, the actor bit was more desire than truth. I mean, I'm an actor like 95% of actors are actors, in that I never acted a great deal. When I did, I think I survived. And music was always just my bread and butter. And so I say I'm a musician when I come through passport control.
Yeah. And
they go, what sort of music do you play? And you go, well, have you heard the song 10-Foot Cock and a Few Hundred Virgins? That's me.
But, I mean, would you not say comedian because you think that people would think you're a bit dodgy? No,
well, you never, if anyone ever asks you what you do, you never say comedian, because they go, oh, I've got a joke for you. Yeah, you just, it's a conversation you'll never get out of. But I've taken a long time to accept that I'm a comedian, just because even the shows I'm doing now, when I'm absolutely embedded in the comedy genre in the marketplace here, I still just think it's just a concert with me chatting a bit in between. You know, the point, I've got this fucking big grand piano and I play songs, and it just happens that I sort of drifted further and further towards writing satirical songs rather than pop. But I'm not done yet with my music either. I mean, everyone's like, oh, you know, it's just where you've ended up, and I don't see it as an end point. It's just one of the things.